Abby Walsh red hot, swinging a .352 average, 17 runs batted in. For Auburn, it has been defense in the first game. Alyssa Rivera starting things off with a great diving catch in right field. Look for that on SportsCenter's Top 10 tonight. But that wasn't the only play she had in the first game. Made a great play, running play down the right field line and leaves the ballpark in doing so. And Rivera using off her defense, but Auburn got the bats going, Amy, as well.
Yeah, they started out behind, and Tannen Snow had to come with this RBI single here, driving in Padani. And then Kendall Veach does it again, just like last night. Almost the same, goes to center instead of left. Takes it out for her 21st RBI of the year.
Tigers going with a redshirt sophomore in Lexi Hanley. Hanley, a sophomore out of Ohio, transferred from Akron after redshirting last season. A 1.78 ERA. She's 3-0 on the regular season with 7 appearances and 5 starts. So for Hanley, she's trying to build off some success. Got shaken up a little bit against Washington. Went 2 1/3, 3 runs scored. But the game before for Hanley against Texas San Antonio, she was untouchable. 4 1/3, 3 hits. 3 walks and a season-high 9 strikeouts for Hanley. So Hanley, good stuff. A southpaw facing Michaela Rude, the right fielder, in the leadoff spot for Mercer.
Michaela shows bunt there. When we talked to Coach DeFeo before, she said she could start 8 lefties if she needed to, so this could be interesting.
Yeah, Rude out of Buford, Georgia, spoken highly of by Coach Stephanie DeFeo. And Rude, the slapper, swinging over the top of the drop. It's 0-2 to start off the count.
She talked a lot about trying to, get runners on and put them in motion, causing some chaos. And you can see the batter on deck is also left-handed. So
there's a slapper, and Tannen Snow goes up to get it for the first down. And Snow protecting the hot corner with a big smile.
Well, that's how you keep them off base right there, the reaction time. And that'll help Lexi out.
Well, you look at Tannen Snow at third base, has her sister at short, and then you have Casey McCracken, who's capable of the same things over at second base for the Tigers. Auburn loaded with talent defensively. And the outfield for Auburn, Tigers adding Bree Fornes back to the lineup here for game 2. Padani's in center, then how could you take Alyssa Rivera out of the lineup with her athleticism in right field?
She made some tremendous plays last game.
Megan Lane, first baseman, coming to bat as that last pitch clocked in 74 miles per hour on Lexi Hanley. And that's the thing, when she's on, Amy, she's on.
Yeah, and 74 is, you have got to be ready to hit. And if she misses around the zone, mixes speeds at all, she'll be tough.
Was low and inside. That one clocking in at 1 miles per hour lower. And Coach Mickey Dean very happy with the transfer in Lexi Hanley. She's trying to get established, Amy, as the number 2 starter behind Michaela Martin. And she's one that has the stuff to do so, and she has quite the different look than Michaela Martin a righty.
Yeah, and Michaela Martin obviously has the bulk of the innings here, and the other 3, Hanley, Harris, and Swindell, have been kind of sharing the load, and he's looking for somebody to step up, and Lexi Hanley is clearly one of those who could.
Came in with 19 2/3, 17 hits, 5 earned runs, 12 walks, 23 strikeouts. Slow roller, Hanley fields, turns around, the throw is low, and Lane reaches first, headed for second. A free base for the first baseman, and Megan Lane forces a mistake by Auburn pitching, takes 2 bags.
Yeah, and this is just what Coach DeFeo is telling us. Lefties gonna make you make tough plays, and you got another lefty coming up to the plate with a runner at second base. We'll see if she puts the runner in motion.
So it'll be an error by Hanley, runner at second, 1 out. Tigers gave up 2 runs to Radford in the first game of the doubleheader today. Here's Castleberry. Wild pitch, gets behind Kendall Veach. She'll kick it around, and Megan Lane easily up at third. She'll even turn the corner to break towards home.
You can see the leadership McCracken is showing right here. Just trying to settle everyone down, talk to Hanley.
Well, and in her outing against Texas San Antonio, I asked her in the postgame last week, what Coach Mickey Dean came out and said to her in the first inning. And she said, honestly, just to breathe, just to calm down, settle in, and trust her stuff. Castleberry offering at the 1-0. That'll even the count at a ball and a strike. And for Castleberry, starting at second base. Started almost every game as a freshman. Tore her ACL last year, so she's having a big comeback year with a 3.08 average. That's tough to do.
Yeah, she's got 4 doubles on the year, and again, coming out of the left side of that box. If you're running hard, you put it in the outfield. You may end up at second base when others may end up at first.
The 1-2. Chopped, fair play. Snow checks the runner to third, throws to first, gets one out. Justice Perry ready to check lane back to the bag, and Auburn keeps the first run of the game on third. Nice defensive stop.
It's a great job by Hanley getting that ground ball. With a runner at third base and no outs, there's multiple ways to score there, and to get a ground ball and Tannen to look her back and throw her out, she can get out of this inning with no runs.
Auburn still got to go through one of the best hitters in Allie Jones. Hard bouncing ball, diving stop, knocked down, but it's an infield base hit, and Jones with her 14th RBI to score Megan Lane, and the Bears on the board 1-0.
Got a little deja vu here, Brett, in the first inning. Runners getting on, moving around, and then here you can see Taylor with a great effort, but just can't come up with it. She probably would have beat it out regardless.
Yeah, for Auburn, giving up runs. 2 runs against Radford today and now 1 against Mercer. Abby Walsh, the designated player. First pitch low for ball 1. And for Walsh out of Frisco, Texas. Another solid average. 17 runs batted in, leading Mercer with a .352 average. And the 1-0, a called strike. Key for Auburn now, Amy, is simple. Keep it at 1 here in the top of the first, but for Mercer, they want to build off this.
Yeah, and Walsh coming off of a crazy injury. Coach told us how she broke her femur and had to get a titanium rod.
And laces one past the late diving Taylon Snow. The throw from Padani hoses the runner, and Jones at third. And Mercer runs himself into an out. Morgan Padani taking care of business for the Tigers in center field. And for Auburn, they keep the deficit at 1. Tigers with a chance to tie it after this. Padani with a great play. Lynn Gardner, the lefty freshman out of Mobile, Alabama, getting the start in the circle for the Mercer Bears. And she's a dynamic pitcher with a great changeup. And so far this season, Gardner with a 3.77 ERA, has 11 starts in 12 appearances. She's 6-3, and high number of runs with 33 given up. But for Auburn, lots of talent for the Tigers. And you have to check out Aspen Godwin, who's worked her way into the starting lineup as a designated player. Had a huge pinch hit, 2-out RBI single against Radford in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Taylon Snow will lead it off for Auburn.
Looks like Gardner has 27 walks in her 61 innings pitched, so Tigers might want to be a little patient here.
Snow offers at the second pitch and also has 33 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .265 against her, and she is getting a lot of the innings this year for Mercer. She has thrown the most, 61 1/3. Second most goes to Bailey Pattison with 48. And for Gardner, she sits down Taylon Snow on 3 pitches. Gardner with her first strikeout.
She just came right at her, and you can see that curveball that's just going to drop off just a little bit. I don't know that Taylor was expecting that.
Bases empty, 1 out. It'll be the second baseman, McCracken. McCracken still looking for that first hit of the day, which would be her 100th career hit as an Auburn Tiger. 1-0, and there it is. Casey McCracken hits the century mark, 100th career hit as an Auburn Tiger. She is the third Tiger this season to do so. She joins her teammates Alyssa Rivera and Kendall Veach.
Congrats to her. I mean, getting 9 hits in her freshman year and then coming up and just basically doubling it every year, and she hits it right there through the 3-4 hole.
Well, McCracken can run some bases for Auburn. Tied for a team lead with 8 stolen bases. She's a perfect 8 for 8. Rivera tries to push one down the third base line, but it goes foul, 0-1. Yeah, I expect Auburn and Mercer to put some runners in motion today. Auburn 38 for 47 on stolen bases. Mercer 37 for 45 on stolen bases. And the running game, a huge part of the Mickey Dean philosophy here at Auburn.
Yeah, and Alyssa Rivera, that's the third time I have seen her show bunt, and it's gone foul. But just as a defense, it is really, really difficult to cover second base when somebody squares to bunt like that if they pull back. Plus, you know, she can hit it over the ball at any point.
Rivera lifts this one in the air. On the edge of the grass is Harvey at shortstop, is 2 down. Auburn got a run back after trailing in the bottom of the first against Radford, but for Mercer, take a look at who will be around the infield for the Bears, and just seen Kinley Harvey, and she's one of the most dynamic players on defense for Mercer. Expect to have her name called a lot today.
See if Tannen Snow can keep it up. Last game she was 2 for 3, double, a single.
Snow with several multi-hit games. She had one last night, one today, and in the final game of the Judy Garment Classic against Washington last week, and that was with a 3-run home run, a go-ahead 3-run home run in a top 25 matchup.
Now she and Veach have quite the RBI and home run battle going.
Chased a high one, carries deep to center field, and Jones runs out of room. Tannen Snow drops her second bomb of the weekend. It is enough to give Auburn a 2-run lead, a go-ahead home run, her 8th of the season.
Take another look at it here in the 1-1 count, and just gets all of it. I think she knew it.
Hit a blast last night, a solo home run. Now has a 2-run home run here against Mercer. Tigers respond in a big way, 2-1. And for Auburn, they continue to swing the bats well with the long ball. Auburn now 32 home runs on the regular season as a team. And for Auburn, they have several weapons. You look at the power numbers compared to last year. Kendall Veach already more homers this year than last year. Tannen Snow in the same boat. Alyssa Rivera climbing with 5 alongside Casey McCracken. And one player that's not even on that list who has 2 home runs is Justice Perry. She has a lot of power as well, hitting in the 7th spot of Auburn's order.
You know, the thing with Rivera and McCracken, too, they still have good home run numbers, but their averages are up, their on-base percentages are up, and they're manufacturing runs.
One for Auburn. That's part of their identity this season. Is last year they were having to squeak out and win some close games. This year they're finding multiple ways to win different types of ball games this year, and that's a good characteristic to have for if you're Coach Dean headed into Southeastern Conference play. pulled third base side. Tough play for Harvey, and it's an infield base hit for Kendall Beach.
How many infield singles for Kendall Beach have you seen, Britt?
Not many. Not many. But for Beach, she'll take it any way she can get it. That is her 22nd base hit of the season. Beach, a senior out of Selma, Alabama, John T. Morgan Academy. Tigers have another Alabama native coming to bat in Aspen Godwin. Godwin had the most impressive at bat, in my opinion, against Radford in game 1. It came in a tough situation. Runner at third, 2 outs, and had a pinch hit 2-out RBI single.
Yeah, and she worked the count and then drove it up the middle. Thought you were going to see a stolen base from Kendall there, too.
Hey, she's got 4 this year. Beach not the fastest runner, but a strong runner.
I'll tell her you said that.
Please do.
Okay.
1-1, and Godwin finds the left center field gap. That'll send Beach around second. Beach way told by Coach Dean. The throw from Harvey is off. Sliding into third is Godwin. And for Aspen Godwin, an RBI double in the bottom of the first, and the Tigers extend the lead 3-1 over Mercer.
Wow, Aspen got all of that one, similar to her at bat earlier today. Just a line drive. And then, like you said, Kendall Beach scoring all the way from first base, another 2-out RBI.
And for Aspen Godwin, her 2nd RBI of the day and her 5th of the season. And the freshman out of Daphne High School, Amy, I think she's about to pencil herself into the lineup as an everyday starter, as a designated player. Definitely an option alongside Brittany Marissette, who's also swinging the bat well last week.
For sure, and she's definitely making a case. And just like the game before, in the 4th inning, when they scored a couple runs without the ball even leaving the infield, just tremendous base running.
Gardner working outside on Justice Perry. It's a hitter's count for the Auburn first baseman. Perry an 0 for 3 performance against Radford, but has the tools to be a great hitter. .314 average, 2 homers, 14 runs batted in.
In the last game, I really felt like she was on time in her at-bats, and she was just missing. I think she's really, really close to hitting the ball hard.
Oh, when she squares one up, it's going to go, and it's going far. 2-1, right center field gap. Justice Perry with a 2-out RBI double, as Perry cruises into second base. And it's 4-1 Auburn, and the Tigers piecing together at bats here in the bottom of the first.
Well, you knew she was close. She really was swinging the bat good in the first game, and she just takes that outside pitch, stays on it, drives it to right center.
Perry's 4th double, her 15th RBI, and that's what she can do, Amy, in the 7th batting spot of the order. The 7th.
Yeah, it does not get easier when you go down, then all of a sudden you're right back at the top.
And now it's Bree Fornes' turn. Fornes, she has 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs this season. Also 6 RBIs, hitting 8th. Gardner working away on the first 2, and Fornes ahead with a hitter's count.
I think right now when Gardner misses, she's missing just a little too far off the plate. And when she does throw a strike, it's just all over the plate.
Fornes in front of the off speed. But Fornes, she hit a home run on day 1 of the Judy Garment Classic last week. 3-run blast, has 6 runs batted in this season.
Yeah, and for Gardner, you know, Coach DeFeo talked about how she had a great changeup. And I don't know if it was the changeup she threw to Taylon Snow or kind of an off-speed drop, but she started off the game with a strikeout, and I haven't seen that pitch since.
Yeah, had 3 straight pitches on Talon Snow. And you're right. Haven't seen that pitch since. She's, for the most part, lived up against these Auburn hitters. Goes outside, and a good eye by Fornes. Payoff pitch from Gardner. Sky to the left side. And the shortstop, Harvey, makes the catch, backpedaling. And the inning comes to a close. Tannen Snow breaks the goose egg for Auburn. A 2-run bomb to right center. Auburn gets 4 in the first. It's 4-1 Auburn. Nice crowd at J.B. Moore Field for day 2 of the War Eagle Challenge. Fans getting some extra softball today after weather on Sunday bumped up a few extra games here in the second day of the tournament. Auburn with a doubleheader, game 2 here against Mercer. Megan Lane leads off the second inning for the Bears. Mercer got on the board with an RBI single from Allie Jones in the first, a 2-out RBI single. Auburn responds with a big way with 4 runs in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that's got to give Lexi Hanley some breathing room. She just needs to come right at these hitters with a 3-run lead.
Lane was due up in the first inning, but Allie Walsh trying to stretch, or excuse me, Allie Jones trying to stretch Abby Walsh's single into an extra base, and the Bears ran themselves out of the first. And the 0-2 off speed. Looked good, didn't miss by much.
And I get being aggressive, and obviously that's their philosophy. She's talked a lot about that. But to make the 3rd out at third base and run yourself out of an inning, that's tough.
And forgive me, Sheila Warren at the plate. Or Shayla Warren for Mercer, the left fielder. And Warren down on strikes. Lexi Hanley delivers her first strikeout of the night. It's 1 down.
You're going to see her come inside. Even if she hits this pitch, it's just going to be a weak ground ball.
Shortstop number 7, Kinley Harvey.
So the second inning in a row, Hanley retires the leadoff batter. Here's Kinley Harvey, the shortstop. Harvey with a big swing, going after that rise ball.
This is the first righty that Lexi Hanley has seen.
Here's a bunt. Backhanded stop under the glove of Perry. And for Auburn, Hanley gets there, but nobody to cover first. That's an infield base hit by Harvey.
Yeah, it kind of puts it out there in no man's land where everyone's going for it. No one's able to cover first base.
Number 1, Amanda Schwartz.
You know, a lot of times defenses will, and I think we saw it earlier, just have the first baseman stay back no matter what, and it's up to the pitcher. But Lexi being a lefty, and we saw it earlier in the first inning, turn around and making a bad throw. It's tough.
Another bunt attempt coming, this time Amanda Schwartz. But for Mercer, this is what they want to do. They want to create havoc, play a little small ball, use their speed. And right now, they just need base runners, trying to chip away at this 4-1 Auburn lead. Now Hanley after the bunt, yet to throw a strike. As Schwartz, the third baseman, she's an everyday starter this year. Stepped up in a big way for Mercer after sitting behind an every year starter the last couple years, or an everyday starter for Mercer at third base. So this is a big spot for her this season. You know, being in the lineup every day and trying to find a way to contribute.
Yeah, and for Lexi, you're facing 8-9 right now with 1 out. You need to come right at these batters. You don't want to turn it over to all those lefties again.
2-1, snap throw to first, just in time is Harvey.
That was close. What a great throw by Veach. She got her hand in there, but that was a good play.
3-1. Hanley gets an offer from Swartz. That'll make it full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hanley facing a little pressure from Mercer in this game. 2 base hits and an error. A run scored in the first inning. Now 1 out base hit in the second. 3-2 pitch down the right field line. And it will take an Auburn turn. But for Mercer, you have to like the approach that they've had in this game, baby. I mean, they're going up, they're not swinging at bad pitches, and they're being confident and aggressive at the plate.
They are being aggressive, that's for sure.
Right
Putting a lot of ball in play.
McCracken goes to the only place she can go for the outs, and that's first base. As Harvey, no way she would have made that play at second.
No, you just got to make sure of an out there. And now you have 2 facing the 9-hitter.
That'll be Tori Ash coming to the plate. She comes to the plate on a 6-game hitting streak and a hit in all 5 of Mercer's previous wins. First pitch low and away for ball 1.
Good job by Veach there. I think she got crossed up a little bit.
Yeah, Mercer winning their last, winning their last 5. The last loss came to a top 25 team in Indiana. 1-0 pitch comes inside and plunks Ash on the arm. And that'll roll the lineup over for Mercer.
Yeah, you can see that curveball just gets away from her a little bit. Comes inside. I think Lexi was asking if it hit the bat, but it did not.
And for Hanley, that is the first hit batter of the season. First and second with 2 outs is Michaela Rude. Ball in between the legs of Veach. A free base from Harvey and Ash. That'll be a pass ball.
Yeah, we got a little action in the bullpen. Here comes Coach Dean.
Well, for Coach Dean, his team responded after going down 1-0 in the top of the first inning. Came back with 4 big runs. Bats came alive, but for Auburn, in the first and the second, they've had a tough time in Lexi Hanley in trying to manage this pressure that Mercer is putting on this Auburn defense. I mean, they have runners in scoring position each inning, and now with second and third, 2 outs with a tying run at the plate.
Yeah, and this is good for Auburn. They're going to be facing a lot of situations, maybe late in games, where they're going to have to make, some split decisions, which bag you're going to go to, which out you're going to get.
For Auburn, the play is at first. First pitch to Rude, offered at and foul. Rude was retired and robbed of a base hit by Tannen Snow, the first out of the ball game. It was a hot shot to third. That Rude could have been her 19th hit of the season. Slow roller. Hanley turns to first, no play. Tried to go home, but was too late. And Michaela Rude and Mercer score a run on an infield base hit.
You gotta wonder how much that first throw Lexi made was in her head there, because I think she had time to get the out.
And that swing was as good as a bunt. It's runners at the corners, 2 outs. Mercer within 2.
So as much as Coach DeFeo has talked about running here, with 2 outs, you would think that this runner would be going. I'd be interested to see how Auburn will defend it with 2.
Lane will show bunt. As Lane, she reached on an error. She was, you referenced that play in the first inning. It was Lane who had the puncher to the right side of the pitching circle, and Hanley could not make a throw.
Yeah, and you've got McCracken covering second on the steal right now, so if she puts a bunt down first.
Instead, we'll swing away 1-1. Yeah, Auburn in a predicament here defensively. The outs at first and second. McCracken will have to play towards second for the steal. But Lane, a first baseman, but has already displayed some speed today. And Hanley coming back, getting a couple swing and misses here. And Auburn's a strike away.
Yeah, 2 strikes kind of take the bunt out of play, which makes it a lot easier on the defense.
And Lane ruining a good pitch. Nice job protecting.
You could see the runner was in motion on that play.
Yeah, on first is Michaela Rude, 9 of 10 on stolen bases. And Mercer, 1 less stolen base entering this ball game than Auburn. Both teams like to run. 1-2, she went around, and that's strike number 3 for Mercer. They'll strand 2 at second and third. Michaela Rude with an RBI single. It's 4-2 Auburn. Auburn found offense early today against Mercer. Tannen Snow, a 2-run home run to right center field, puts Auburn on the board 2-1. Couple batters later, Aspen Godwin in the starting lineup today scores Kendall Veach all the way from first on a 2-out RBI double. And then Justice Perry lines back-to-back RBI doubles, scoring Aspen Godwin. And the Tigers, they lead at 4-2 in the bottom of the second as Mercer, they get one back in the second with Michaela Rude scoring Kenley Harvey on an infield bunt single. Or an infield base hit, rather. But for Auburn here in the bottom of the second, it's Morgan Padani, then it's back to the top, Amy, and Taylon Snow and Casey McCracken.
Yeah, Auburn sent 8 batters to the plate the first inning. Morgan had some good bats in the first game. She ended up walking and scoring.
Yeah, Padani 0 for 1 with 1 walk, a run scored. And that's kind of been Padani's MO this season, and even last season. Averaged just a bit under 300, but her on-base percentage at .407. Not bad for a 9-hole hitter.
No, and she ran the bases hard and beat out that play at second base that extended the inning.
Takes the 0-1 away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Padani, one of 5 seniors on Mickey Dean's 2019 roster out of Ponte Vedra, Florida. Saw a glimpse of her arm in the first, or excuse me, yeah, the first inning, to end the first inning for Mercer defensively.
Yeah, I still think that one's going to come back to haunt Mercer, third out at third base.
2-1, nice pitch by Gardner. Gardner started this game what seemed like with command, with a strikeout on 3 pitches to Taylon Snow, but she got beat up a little bit afterwards. Auburn with 5 hits, 4 runs in the first inning.
Padani again working the count. She already has quite a few pitches.
Payoff pitch, a hard line drive down the left field line. Padani hesitates at first and will hold up for a leadoff single.
Again, I love how hard she plays the game. She's going to get out of the box after just great job on the line, and then rounds the base hard to make him make that play. No one's backing up that throw if it gets by her.
Nice job by Warren to make the throw, because Padani, she has the wheels to stretch a single into a double. Leadoff runner for Taylon Snow. Snow on the first play. Lane plays it perfectly. The throw to second is late, but Mercer will get one, and Padani's speed too much.
Now batting second baseman number 11, Casey McCracken.
I don't think Taylon's very happy with her last 2 at-bats, but she did a good job moving the runner and given up the force there, they would have had to tag Padani.
Oh, Megan Lane making a nice play, using the body there for Mercer.
Yeah, keeping in front.
And Casey McCracken back up after picking up her 100th career base hit through the right side in the first inning. McCracken joined her teammates Alyssa Rivera and Kendall Veach, who each accomplished the feat, and that's once in the last 3 weeks. This one skied to shallow left center. And nice job, Allie Jones, calling off the shortstop Harvey for the second out.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Alyssa Rivera.
And for Garner, she's not letting the leadoff base hit by Morgan Padani phase her, or at least yet. 2 outs on 3 pitches since.
Yeah, I feel like Rivera is the same boat Justice Perry's in. She's having decent at-bats. She's just missing. And there's a gap out there in right center.
Yeah, they have Jones shifted over a little bit towards left center. 1-0 pitch, opposite field, into left. Warren makes the catch, and the inning's over. So Auburn, a leadoff single, nothing going. 4-2 Tigers at the end of 2. It's the final weekend of non-conference play for Auburn, and the SEC schedule starting next week with the Texas A&M Aggies come to town. And Amy Reif, you look at the schedule, no different than any other year. The schedule, a gauntlet in the SEC, and regardless of the team, several teams in the top 25. For Auburn, they get Texas A&M and Mississippi State first. And for the Tigers, you have to think they're going into that weekend trying to win 2 out of 3 in both of those before you get into the meat of the SEC schedule in the coming weeks.
Yes, and there are no easy games on that schedule. And Mississippi State is at Mississippi State. Anytime you go on the road in the SEC, it's difficult.
The last time Auburn went to Mississippi State 3 years ago, Auburn and Mississippi State, they went to, it was either a 14 or a 15 inning game. In the first one, Auburn won it in a close one. And Starkville, not an easy place to go to. And although the Dogs aren't in the top 25, you better come ready to play.
Again, that's every game in the SEC. It's so difficult.
Danielle Castleberry leading off the inning, takes the second pitch high, 1-1 count.
When's the last time that we did not play Alabama?
3 years ago. It's on a rotation. It's on a rotation every couple of years. The two teams don't play, and that's one thing I think is Castleberry fouls it off 1-2. That's one thing I think those teams should always play, regardless of the sport. Every big SEC rival, find a way to play them. Find a way. It's a shame in the state of Alabama. You have 2 in-state schools. Same thing, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. When you have 2 in-state teams, they don't play each other. Doesn't do well for either teams because the fan bases love it.
Absolutely, even if it's just a one-game,
sure,
midweek, neutral ground. I mean, there's nothing like an Auburn-Alabama game in any sport.
Well, and oftentimes, like you saw last night in the women's basketball SEC tournament, oftentimes those two schools, they often find a way to play each other in postseason play. They've done it a couple of times in baseball and softball, did it last year in men's basketball.
I have a fun fact for you, Britt. I played in the very first game against Alabama.
Very first?
The very first game.
Good stats?
Well, we won. And there were so many people there, they were sitting on top of the concession stand.
Did she go around? No, she did not. Close one, as Castleberry almost offered, but on top of the concession stand.
You see this rise ball, and yeah, she holds back just a little bit. That's a good pitch by Lexi.
Payoff pitch from Hanley, swung on and missed. Castleberry couldn't lay off the rise, and Hanley has her second K of the day.
Lexi's going to come back with that same pitch. And when you see a rise ball like that, you're probably not thinking she's coming again. And it's a good pitch.
I stand corrected. That is actually number 3 of the day for Lexi Hanley. Had 2 in the second. I bring up Allie Jones. Jones put Mercer on the board with an RBI single in the first inning. She's 1 for 1.
I think that this is a huge inning for Hanley. She needs to do well in this inning to continue on through the game, and so that was important to get that first out.
Well, a big inning for Mercer, too. This is the meat of the order up. Checked her swing, and Hanley, she gets a gift. Yeah, Jones had an RBI single on the very first pitch. Had it right back up the middle. And with the 0-2, how could you not go back with the rise if you're Lexi Hanley? A pitch that's been very successful. It's what she struck Castleberry out on this inning, and then I think she got a batter on it last inning as well.
Yeah, and as a hitter, once that's in your mind, it's tough to lay off.
Coach Mickey Dean calling the pitches for Auburn in his second season as Auburn's head coach. And one thing Auburn has not lacked under his tenure is pitching. The 1-2, back-to-back strikeouts. Lexi Hanley mixing things up, goes off speed, and that's number 4.
I was just wondering where the changeup was, and what a great pitch. I mean, she just takes probably 8 miles an hour off of that, and that is just an impossible pitch to hit.
That'll bring up Abby Walsh to the plate, so Hanley has struck out the last 3 batters. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. You start to see Hanley improve pitch by pitch, batter by batter here as this game goes on.
Yeah, a lot of times when a pitcher throws a changeup, there may be such a huge, maybe a 10, 12 mile an hour discrepancy, and it really lets the hitter see it deeper, get their hands back. But when it's that close to how she's throwing normally, it's just a really, really tough pitch to hit.
Well, you just saw the strike to ball ratio for Hanley, and she's dominating the strike zone today. She's living around the zone, hasn't had many bad misses. And gets an offering from Walsh. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the up pitch is working for Hanley here in the 3rd inning.
Yep, she's 1 strike away from setting down the side.
Season high 9 strikeouts last week against Texas San Antonio. 1-2. Surprised they didn't offer or check down the 3rd, but Walsh, good hesitation there and showing enough control.
Let's see if she comes back with it. With 1 ball to give, I think I would.
2-2 goes off speed and strikes out the side. Lexi Hanley retiring Mercer in order. And for Hanley, she has 6 strikeouts on the day. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Tigers by 2. This Village on the Plains, Auburn leading Mercer 4-2, and boy, Jamie Moorefield, it has become one of the dynamic home fields in college softball and in the SEC. Look at what Auburn's done since 2015. First pitch, Tannen Snow skies the pitch down the left field line, is raced to and caught by Shayla Warren. Swartz and Harvey also came in to help from the left side of the infield, but Shayla Warren able to make things happen there in left field.
You can see all 3 of them converging on this, and they go a long way for it. Good job calling her off. It's in the same spot last night that a ball dropped out there for Michigan State. That's a tough corner to make a catch.
So 1 out, that'll bring up Kendall Veach. As Lynn Gardner starting to settle in a bit in the circle for Mercer. She gave up 4 in the first inning, Gave up a leadoff single, but has retired the last 4 since giving up that leadoff single in the 2nd inning. Hard bouncer through the legs of Swartz, knocked it down with a glove, and Harvey's throw had no chance.
Are we going to call that her 2nd infield single of the night?
Waiting for the official ruling.
I mean, she just rocks that ball.
Yeah, that's got to be a single.
It's got to be.
And if so, Amy, you're right. Yeah, single to third base. And you asked me after her last time, how many infield singles have I seen from Kendall Veach? Not many. She has 2 in this game already. And when I say not many, that's nothing against Kendall Veach. It's her power. She's a gap hitter and a power hitter.
Oh, yeah, I don't think she's taking offense to that.
Here's Aspen Godwin. Now, if you ask me about like Auburn's former center fielder, Victoria Draper, who was notorious for infield singles, be a different story. But Aspen Godwin trying to pick back up where she left off in the 1st inning. An RBI double. And she finds the left center field gap again. Veach rounding 2nd, headed to 3rd. Godwin will go to 2nd. And beating the shortstop to the bag, Aspen Godwin with her 2nd extra base hit of the game. Godwin slow to get up at 2nd base.
Yeah, she went in hard at 2nd. It kind of looked like her leg stuck.
Godwin dropping down to a knee. She doubled her 2nd double of the game and her 3rd base hit of the day for Auburn.
Oh, man, you do not want to see that.
And the training staff out to look at Godwin as Godwin holding that left leg.
She's already got a knee brace on that leg.
And Auburn's Doc Goodlett, trainer Lana Meeks on to check out Godwin. Godwin, only a freshman, is turned into be a dynamic player for Auburn off the bench. And it was a play sliding into 2nd. And Godwin, she's wanting to stay in the ball game.
You see her leg just stick here into the bag. Oh. Yeah.
Godwin, she stayed on 2nd after that, wanting to stay in the ball game. She was coming off an injury. So she entered this season coming off an injury. Coaches have been taking it slow with her. And Coach Dean said, hey, she's got to get healthy. And a tough break for Auburn after Aspen Godwin 2 for 2, 2 doubles, 1 an RBI double, has to leave the game with an injury. It'll be Brittany Marissette coming on, and gotta say, I mean, not a bad substitution. Marissette hitting above 300 this season and was on fire last weekend. Had a base hit in all 4 games. 3 of the 4 games were for extra base hits.
Absolutely. I mean, she's going to come in and do her best. You just feel for Aspen Godwin. She's been in and out of the lineup, working hard, and earned herself a start tonight. And like you said, 2 doubles.
Now it's Justice Perry coming to bat. Perry had a big RBI double with 2 outs in the 1st inning.
Right before that happened, I was just going to credit Auburn's base running again. They are getting out of the box, taking the extra base, making the defense make a play.
Slow roller, this could score a run. Lane tosses to 1st for the out, and Kendall Veach comes home to score. Justice Perry getting the job done. Ground ball to the right side, and Auburn takes a 5-2 lead.
And that run scores because of how hard Veach was running, 1st, 3rd, batter before. And then, you know, Perry may not be happy with that at bat, but she's got to be happy with the result, bringing in another run.
And Esprit Fornes next. Here's a bunt, 1st base line, backspin, turns it foul. Fornes and Padani talking that last play over. Auburn would like to push another run across. make it a 4-run ball game. As Mercer, they put up a run in the first and second. And a bouncing ball will get through past the diving glove of Harvey. And for Auburn, a 1-out or 2-out RBI single.
You just see different players getting it done every time. This time, Bree Fornes shows bunt, goes foul, and then comes right back out with a single up the middle to score a run. And I bet Coach Dean does not take his foot off the gas right now.
Runner
there
at
she
first.
Goes. Oh, she had me fooled.
Well, Fornes has good speed.
It was a great leadoff.
Padani shows bunt, runner goes. Fornes, the throw beater, but the tag was late, and Bree Fornes has her first stolen base of the year.
It was one pitch off, but you knew she was going at some point. And the throw does beat her, but yep, she's under the tag.
Fornes cruising, gets there by a hair ahead of the tag of Harvey. A base hit scores Fornes here. Padani reached on a base hit to lead off the second inning. She's 1 for 1 on the game. Good average this year, hitting above 300.
You know, the top of the lineup all year has been getting the job done, and they still are. But now the bottom of the lineup has really started picking up. Those singles here, double here. If they can take that into next weekend, it'll be great for SEC play.
Well, and for Auburn, so 3-1 misses outside. Padani draws a walk, his first and second. For Auburn, to me, Amy, it was that second weekend at home where the Tigers had the Tiger Invitational against North Dakota State, Eastern Illinois, Villanova. Auburn kind of took a step forward that weekend with situational hitting. That was the weekend Auburn started to get production 1 through 9 from the order. And when Auburn's producing 1 through 9, just like any team, they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, and there was a lot of talk like, well, is it the pitching they'll face in the SEC?
Little looper gets past the glove of Gardner into center field. Fornes scores. Padani caught in a rundown between second and third. And the tag comes in for the outs. But Auburn does get a run in. Taylon Snow, an RBI single. Auburn gets 3 in the third. It's 7-2 Auburn. Mickey Dean leading the Auburn Tigers in pitching efficiency. Last season had one of the lowest ERAs in program history in his first season, 1.37. Opponents hit .204 against Auburn with just under 5 strikeouts per contest. This season, a 1.60 ERA. Opponents just a little better at .213 with 6.4 strikeouts per contest. And Amy, when you have these kind of numbers combined with Auburn's offense and defense, and Mickey Dean, he's building something special at Auburn if they can continue that trend.
I would agree. If they can put a complete game together 2 out of 3 times, especially on the road, they're going to fare well in the SEC, and that is a tough thing to do.
Leading off the top of the fourth for Mercer is Harvey, Swartz, and Warren, Harvey, and Swartz is 6, 7, 8. With Warren offering at the first pitch, and Carmen Greenwood enters the ball game for Morgan Padani in center field. Oh, missing upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Padani, she was tagged on the face her last time on the base paths, and she's chatting with the Auburn training staff. Sharing a good smile there. Seems to be okay, but may have taken her out for precaution. We don't know. That's her guess. It's the 1-1 pitch Warren offers at us. A ball and 2 strikes.
So now you're coming through. She's just faced all those lefties. But you have a slapper, and if she throws that changeup now, And we saw in the first game, it's not the same umpire behind the plate, but there were 3 batters called out of the box.
Called strike 3 on the 4th pitch to Shayla Warren. And Hanley dealing in the circle tonight. That's number 6.
4th strikeout in a row too, and she's not messing with the corners right now. She's coming right at them.
Make that 5. She struck out the last batter of the 2nd, struck out the side last inning.
You're right.
Good numbers regardless, though, for Hanley. And this is coming off a 9 strikeout performance last week against Texas San Antonio. Kinley Harvey, the next batter up, and Hanley paints the corner.
Well, you can see how effective she can be when she works ahead and then if the changeup is working.
Look at the strike total tonight. 42 strikes to 19 balls and 61 pitches. But for Coach Dean here, you mentioned it earlier, want to keep your foot on the gas on offense, trying to do the same thing in the circle with Lexi Hanley. Good eye by Harvey, good adjustment after a bunt single in the first inning.
Yeah, and we were talking coming out of the last inning there, how all the hitters are doing great 1 through 9, and what kind of pitching have they faced and how will they fare. And then they go out to California and prove that they can do just that against anybody. Top 5 teams in the country.
Well, if you ask Auburn, they should have left California 4-0. They gave one to Washington in extra innings of their final game. The Judy Garment Classic was supposed to play number 2 UCLA, but it was rained out on Saturday. 3-1 pitch, liner, tough play for Justice Perry, and it deflects off her glove, and Harvey's aboard first safely.
I think it might have also got her in the face.
Yeah, that ball kicked up pretty hard. She's checking her mouth for blood, it seems.
Good grief, the trainer's getting some work today.
Yeah, you can tell she's in some pain after that play at first. Yeah, kicked up, off her glove, off her face. You can tell she went immediately with her right hand into her left. That's a single for Harvey. As Perry gets a round of applause and shaking that one off. You can tell not comfortable, but a tough player going to stay in the ball game. And for Kinley Harvey, give her credit. She's 2 for 2 with 2 infield hits.
Yeah, and I don't think there was a chance Justice Perry was coming out of the game there, but you got to go check on her.
So runner at first with 1 out for Mercer. And it's Amanda Swartz, the third baseman. And a free base coming up for Harvey to second. And Kendall Veach asked the first base umpire if she left early, I think.
I think they were checking the swing.
All right, so no, she did not. I didn't think there was any question that she didn't swing on the play. But Harvey reaches second on the wild pitch.
Getting the crowd fired up anyway.
The crowd getting into it a little bit. Nice little crowd here for day 2 of the War Eagle Challenge. And Tiger fans getting some free softball, and all fans getting free softball today. As a 2-0 pitch fouled off, as have weather moving into the area on Sunday. The original schedule for Auburn was supposed to be 1 game on Thursday, 1 on Friday today, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. But one of the games from Sunday, the Mercer game, was moved to today. And there will be 5 games played in the tournament between Auburn, Radford, Mercer, and Louisville, and also Michigan State. 5 games today, 5 games tomorrow, with 2 games scheduled on Sunday. I'll be surprised if we get those in on Sunday.
I think this is a good time to give a shout out to the grounds crew and everybody working all day long. They're putting in some serious hours out here.
Well, the grounds crew and even even the SIDs and the grounds crew getting some much needed rest in between games. Is those guys are busy because they are here for every game of the weekend. And the 3-2 pitch, Hanley loses Amanda Swartz with a 1-out walk in his first and second. Mercer starting to put a little pressure back on Auburn.
Yeah, and I think this is an area where Hanley can really grow. Sometimes when you get a bad call or maybe a questionable call or something you don't agree with, then maybe it follows up with a walk or a hit by a pitch or maybe a pass ball. This is where she really needs to bear down.
The double play ball has helped Auburn this weekend. 2 last night, 1 today against Radford.
And again, there's some action in the bullpen.
There's a bunt, first base side is missed.
It's a good job by Hanley getting ahead there. Just get a ground ball. I mean, at this point, you got to be able to trust your defense behind you. They're making great plays. They're going to find you an out.
Not a bad idea to try to move runners over. You have Rude on deck with good speed with Harvey and Swartz. No balls, 2 strikes. Nice job by Ash to continue to fight off some tough pitches in the hold 0-2, but she's staying true to her approach.
It's a tough spot to throw a changeup here, especially 0-2 if you get something in the dirt, but you got a runner at first base, so she would be out. I think I would throw it.
0-2 blocked up. Veach takes it out. Throw to third and it's late. Nice job running by Harvey. Gets under the tag and a wild pitch. A free base with Harvey to third and Swartz to second. Second wild pitch of the inning for Lexi Hanley.
And she threw it. She just put it too far down in the dirt, and great base running. I mean, as soon as she saw the catcher go to her knees, she took off.
Now that eliminates the double play. 1-2. And Ash fighting off and ruining another good pitch. Impressed with the approach at the plate by the Mercer catcher.
Yeah, she's swinging at anything Hanley's putting up there for sure. I mean, and as a pitcher, that's tough. It's like, okay, what pitch do I throw now? But you're still up in the count. I mean, climb the ladder a little bit.
1-2, bouncer. Snow tags at third, throws to first for the double play.
Are you kidding?
Tannen Snow, a vacuum at third. Her second double play of the weekend. What a heads-up job. Tags the runner, throws to first. Inning over. It's 7-2 Auburn, headed to the bottom of the fourth. (7-2) Auburn. Mercer threatening second and third, 1 out in the top of the fourth, but Tannen Snow, the redshirt junior third baseman, makes the play of the night. Tags the runner at third off a hot shot off the bat, throws to first for the 5 unassisted 3 double play, and for Tannen Snow, turning her second double play of the weekend. And for the Chino Hills, California native, Amy, she's coming into her own at third base. Case McCracken offers at the first pitch, lifted in the air. It's Rude there for the catch, 1 down.
I think the best part about that whole play, I mean, obviously it was phenomenal and probably our second top 10 nominee after Alyssa Rivera's catch in the first game. But you should have seen how pumped Lexi Hanley was.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I think the pitchers for Auburn are learning to trust their defense, especially this weekend. I mean, Auburn got out of a bases-loaded no-out jam last night with Michaela Martin, and then get out of a couple jams today. Ashley Swindle did with 2 double plays against Radford, now 1 against Mercer. I mean, Auburn's defense, still a few things to clean up here or there, but for the most part, playing really well for the Tigers.
And as a pitcher, that just gives you so much more confidence to throw the pitch, to trust the pitch when you know that you've got people behind you that are going to make plays like that.
Rivera comes to the plate after an 0 for 2 performance in this one. As Rivera lifts this one straight away center field, carrying back to the wall, and it's gone! Make that number 6 of the year for Alyssa Rivera.
After that first swing, she kind of stepped out of the box, shook her head a little bit, and then I think she probably told herself, let's keep, and look at that. She knew it. Little bat drop there from Alyssa Rivera.
And Coach Mickey Dean also using this home run as a teaching moment, and no telling what that could be. It could be an adjustment from the swing. It could be an adjustment from previous at-bats. But Rivera, it's a home run. The second pitch, or the first pitch to Tannen Snow, comes in off the helmet of Tannen Snow. A scary, scary play.
Oh goodness, she did not have a chance to get out of the way there. That is scary. The last couple innings have just been...
It's been brutal for Auburn.
Yeah.
As Snow takes one off the helmet, Justice Perry took one off the face, a ground ball, and then last inning, Aspen Godwin was injured sliding into second. She hasn't returned to the ball game.
Morgan
Padani
is out.
Next batter up, Kendall Veach, and now for Auburn, the winning, or the potential winning run for Auburn at the plate. Auburn trying to shoot for 2 more runs. Tonight, Veach has been perfect. 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 2-run scores. Had a home run in the first game against Radford today.
I didn't even get a chance to say Tannen Snow was, I know this isn't a stat, but she was a triple away from the cycle today.
Bouncing ball left side, scooped up by Swartz, throws to second, and Mercer will get the lead runner, Amanda Swartz. A nice job to retire Tannen Snow. Yeah, it would have been the cycle in what, 2 games?
2 games, yeah.
I think the most impressive cycle that I've seen is from Arkansas, where they had a player, she hit for the cycle.
This is a really good sign right here. I think Aspen Goodwin's coming back in the game.
It's a great sign for Auburn. Aspen Godwin 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, an RBI double in the first inning, injured sliding into second in the 3rd inning, and now just 1 inning later, the freshman returns to the ball game. And the first pitch breaking ball from Gardner in there for a strike. But Godwin, not only dominant in this game, also had a pinch hit, 2-out RBI single against Radford. But credit to Lynn Gardner. She's delivered 2 off-speed pitches in the same spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw Godwin another inside pitch.
Godwin, good eye, lays off the high one. And also a good sign for Auburn, Justice Perry, of course, on deck. With some scary plays tonight for 4 Auburn players. 1-2 in the air. Gonna be a tough play. Right field is rude and comes charging in for out number 3. For Auburn, they get a run in the 4th. They lead it 8-2 and into the 5th. Handley has been next to perfect tonight for Auburn. 6 strikeouts in the circle. She's gone high, she's gone low, and she's kept this Mercer offense off balance. She scratched up, gave up 1 in the 1st inning and 1 in the 2nd inning, but she's had 2 scoreless innings in the 3rd and 4th, Amy, and looks like she's starting to settle in a bit.
Yeah, and we're back here at the top of the lineup. And you know, there's a lot of talk in baseball about lefty-righty matchups.
Yeah.
And they don't talk so much about that in softball. But I do find this a little interesting because it is tough when you don't face a lefty every day. And now Lexi is facing 7 lefties.
Yeah, 7 lefties in the lineup for Mercer, or 6 rather.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, you're looking at the first 6 hitters of the lineup for Mercer. They are lefties, and it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. And Lexi has struck out every one of those batters except for Michaela Rude. Slow roller, charging, Taylon Snow back across the body, infield base hit for Michaela Rude. And that's Rude's 2nd base hit of the night.
It's a great effort by Justice Perry. You'll see it here. I mean, she puts the ball where it has to go. Taylor makes a great play. Perry stretches, but she just beats it out.
Well, for Taylor, there's nothing she can do there because of the velocity behind the bat. We give credit to Michaela Rude. She placed that ball perfect in the right spot with the right speed behind it. And Mercer has a leadoff base runner with nobody out. Megan Lane will try to bunt.
And now it's really tough for Mercer. Probably take them out of their game plan a little bit because you don't want to run yourself out of an inning down 6 runs.
Lane scored a run in the 1st inning. Hanley coming back with 2 big strikes.
Yeah, because you have the same defense there for Auburn working. McCracken is covering 2nd base on the steal. But now the bunt's out of play with 2 strikes.
0-2. Veach trying to frame it an extra half second.
It's a good spot to miss right there.
Good eye by Megan Lane. Lane, a catcher the last 2 years, playing first base this season. A versatile player in the lineup for Mercer. And her speed will get you. She showed off her wheels in the 1st inning, legging out that one down the line, forcing a throwing error by Hanley. 2-2, and Hanley retires Lane low and away. That's number 7 tonight.
You're going to see this 3rd straight curveball just get out. It's just a great pitch. The thing I've noticed about Coach Dean, and I remember Chardonnay Harris doing this. She was going rise ball, change. Then he started mixing in the curve. Same thing here with Hanley. She was going rise ball, change. And now all of these curveballs, it's like you're facing a completely different pitcher.
Well, and that's one thing about Coach Dean. I remember when he first got to Auburn last year, we asked him, hey, what are some of the things you're teaching? What are the things, some of the pitches that you want your pitchers to be able to develop and be able to throw? And the one pitch he said that every pitcher of his has to be able to throw to be effective is a changeup or some sort of all speed. And Hanley tonight has been more of the curveball, but if you look at Swindle, if you look at Chardonnay Harris, even Michaela Martin has mixed in a changeup with her dynamic drop ball. I mean, Auburn pitchers, they're tough when 2 of their 3 pitches are working.
Yeah, and it's a pitch before that. Hanley had just thrown another changeup. It's imperative. You have to slow the bats down. If you don't have that in the back of a hitter's mind and they're just sitting at 1 speed, it's a lot easier to hit.
Hanley approaching a season-high 9 strikeouts. She has 7. As Castleberry goes all the way down the left field line. See Castleberry kind of working on her swing there. It's the 3rd time around for Mercer in the order tonight. But Hanley has gotten stronger as the game has gone on.
Here it is again. She's working that curveball that's just kind of dropping on her instead of getting around it.
Hanley up to 90 pitches. Wonder how much longer Coach Dean will let her go. And the 3-2. That one's painful off of Kendall Veach. And she puts up the one finger, says, hey, just give me a breather here, guys.
It's a nice job by the umpire here finding another ball. Give Kendall Veach some time.
Find another ball and make sure Handley understands what she can and can't do in the pitching circle. Nice job. And because the umpires know that could have easily been him.
Yeah.
3-2 to Castleberry with a runner at first. Mercer trying to get some more offense going. They've swung the bats relatively well. Most of their hits, Amy, have come in the infield. They have 6 hits, 2 runs scored. They forced Auburn into 1 throwing error tonight. But the bats have been rather quiet in terms of run production in the 3rd and 4th. Chopper, another slow roller, underhand catch. Snow, the stretch from Perry, and a nice play. Taylon Snow in the middle infield with the out at first, and Rude will advance to second.
She makes it look easy, doesn't she?
She does.
Number 22, Allie Jones.
Her and her sister both, the 2 Snow sisters, playing on the left side. Each with a double play this weekend or 2. Or in Tannen's case, I think maybe 3. Allie Jones to the plate. First pitch is low for a ball. Jones with an RBI single in the 1st inning. She's a player that we highlighted early in the broadcast, Amy, and the numbers speak for themselves.
Now she's hitting .397. 5 doubles, a triple, and a home run.
Offers at the rise from Handley. Handley put the first runner on as Michaela Rude picked up her 2nd base hit of the night. She's moved up to 2nd, but Handley's retired 2 in a row in Laney Castleberry. Runner goes, a snap throw back to 2nd.
This is just so interesting to me, this inning, how many curveballs Handley's throwing. Another one.
This time fought off by Jones. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's impressive. If you are a pitcher that is going to throw the same pitch over and over and you're getting ground ball outs and you're not getting hit hard, you can keep doing it.
Well, 2, and she's able to get a couple strikeouts on that curveball as well.
There it is again.
And it's called strike 3 on the outside corner. 2nd strikeout looking tonight for Mercer. And it's 8 strikeouts on the night for Lexi Handley. Bottom of the 5th inning, Auburn and Mercer at Jane B. Moore Field in day 2 of the War Eagle Challenge. Mercer coming into this game on a 5-game winning streak, led by 7th-year head coach in Stephanie DeFeo. And Mercer had a great season last year, 33-19 under Coach DeFeo. And what she's been able to do at Mercer in her time as a head coach is impressive, because part of her time at Mercer, she was a co-head coach for the Bears program, but she's definitely got the Bears trending in the right direction.
For sure, and last year they were 1 game away from winning the conference outright. She said that they've graduated some key players and they're still trying to find their stride, but she'll get them on the same page.
Well, and like last year, she made no excuses for missing the conference championship by 1 game. It had some rainouts, and that's just how it played out. But how she's been able to build off that this year too with a young team is nice, because when you can show players that, hey, we have done this before, we have been here, we can do it again, and do it with young players is something to be said about a head coach, and that's what Mercer's trying to come back for in 2019.
Yeah, and just talking to her, I mean, I would want to play for her. She was really inspiring, and I mean, she has the resume to back it up for sure. I mean, she was a tremendous player in her own right, but she was really complimentary of all of her players, and yeah, I think that Mercer has a bright future.
Well, the first time I spoke to Coach DeFeo was 2 years ago in 2017, Mercer came to a non-conference tournament at Auburn, and I believe that was the first full season she was the head coach outright, not a co-head coach. And you know what she's been able to do in just those 2 years. Very good for Mercer. And a nice glove side play by Harvey. Robs a base hit from Justice Perry, who has 2 RBIs tonight.
You know, that's going to be an out in the book, but she hit the ball hard. And again, she's been doing that, just missing. I mean, her first at bat tonight was, she hit it hard in a double, but that's kind of where she's at. She is just one click away from really turning the corner, I think.
Bree Fornes to the plate. Fornes has singled tonight and scored a run in the 3rd inning. For Mercer, Lynn Gardner trying to work her first scoreless inning since the 2nd. Here's a line shot, diving effort, great effort by Jones, but just past her glove, and Bree Fornes laces another extra base hit. For Fornes, that is her third double to go along with a triple and 2 home runs.
Now batting the left fielder, number 7,
I mean, just really, really great effort by Jones here, and just gets the end of her glove. But credit to Fornes, she's hitting the ball hard, and when you have somebody that can go up there and show bunt and then turn around and do that, that's a tough out.
Fornes now 10 hits on the season, a multi-hit game tonight. 10 hits on the season, and 7 of her 10 hits have gone for extra bases. Think about that.
I mean, she's fast. She's going to stretch some singles into a double.
Solid contact from the Auburn left fielder, Carmen Greenwood. Laces one.
Did she catch that ball? I don't know if she caught. Oh, the home plate umpire is calling her out.
Yeah, she caught the ball.
Coach Dean does not think so.
Danielle Lane, she scooped that ball up, and he wants the umpires to talk about it. Another look at it.
Yeah, she caught it.
Absolutely. Nice play. Danielle Lane at second base.
She caught it. I mean, I do not blame Coach Dean for asking, because it was, I mean, live it was tough. I didn't know if she did either.
I thought off the bat. I thought I saw her pick it, but you know, plays like that you want to be sure off the replay. And Danielle Lane with a great web gem over at second.
Yeah, and good job Bree Fornes staying at second base. I mean, that could have been a double play in the inning there. And then Greenwood just gets robbed of another hit. They're all hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, Taylon Snow to the plate with 2 outs. Yeah, Perry, Fornes, and Greenwood, all solid contact, seeing it well. Taylon Snow back up after an RBI single in the 3rd. And an extra framing there from catcher Tori Ash on a pitch that looked good.
Sometimes those surprise the umpire, too.
1-1, hard down the first base line, but Snow couldn't straighten it out. Gardner needs a strike to get her team back in the dugout. Auburn with the winning run at the plate, up 6 in the 5th. The 1-2's punch foul off the plate. I like the tag there by Tori Ash. Knows the situation. And you hear the home plate umpire explaining to the Mercer dugout that the ball was caught behind home plate, given the explanation. Gardner with a nice pitch.
Good job by Taylon, fouling off some pitches here.
That was a tough pitch to foul off. I mean, it almost froze as it got to home plate.
Yeah.
Stuck the bat out and gets a bleeder into center field. Fornes waved home the score, and the Tigers up 9-2 over Mercer. And Taylon Snow with her second RBI base hit.
You're going to see with 2 strikes here, Talon just throws that bat out, kind of like the last 2 pitches. I mean, she does not strike out, and that's why. And then the ball gets through, and she's got herself another RBI.
That was up to Casey McCracken. First pitch in on the hands for a ball.
I think Casey needs to take a couple pitches here this at-bat.
Yeah, she saw 2 pitches in the first at-bat, single. 2 pitches popped out in the second, flew out to right on 1 pitch in the fourth. And on the second pitch, hits a 1-hopper to third. Swartz will throw to first, and the inning's over. For Auburn, they get a run, a Talon Snow RBI single. 9-2 Auburn at the end of 5. Chardonnay Harris in to relieve Auburn's Lexi Hanley. Harris's last start a couple weeks ago, a career-high 14 strikeouts against the Eastern Illinois Panthers. And for Harris, a career day 6-0 in the shutout as Harris earned the complete game shutout for Auburn. She's pitched 1 inning since then. That came against Loyola Marymount last weekend when an inning gave up a hit, 2 runs. They were both earned with a walk and a strikeout. But for Harris, that was the 3rd most strikeouts in Auburn history. Back on February 23rd, she'll face Abby Walsh, Shayla Warren, and Kinley Harvin.
Good for Harris coming in there and throwing a first pitch strike. Like you said, she's only thrown 1 inning in the last 8 games, and she hasn't thrown in the last 4.
Slow roller to second. McCracken charges underhand toss for the out. It's 1 down.
It was a great play right there by McCracken. She had to let Perry know, because if Perry would have fielded that ball, she probably would have beat it out.
And over at third base, Auburn has a new third baseman, McKenna Dowell, the sophomore, on for Tannen Snow. Dowell, the Sewanee, Georgia native. And Shayla Warren to the plate with 1 out. In the air, shallow left field, charging up. And that's Carmen Greenwood making the catch.
3 pitches in, 2 outs. It's a pretty good start.
Chardonnay Harris getting into a groove here. Relieving Lexi Hanley, who had a nice day in her own right. What, 8 strikeouts for Lexi Hanley? And Kinley Harvey to the plate with the bases empty. Harvey has been a tough out today for Mercer. A single, a run scored in the second, and a 1-out single in the fourth. And Harvey, who started today, her average was at 156. She's got it up to 191.
I think Harris needs to just take a deep breath and come right at her like she did the first 2 batters.
Gets the first strike here on Harvey. 2 balls and a strike. This game started off with Mercer scoring first on Auburn, 1-0 in the first. Auburn with a nice response, 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Mercer with a run back in the second. And Auburn with 3 runs in the third and a run in the fourth and the fifth. Only 1 shutout inning for Mercer pitching since.
You can already see the difference a little bit from the highlights before. She's just not throwing that changeup for a strike right now.
And the changeup is Harris's best pitch. 3 ones popped up, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that pitch is key to Harris's success. And she had trouble getting it going in California last weekend against Loyola Marymount. And on the 3-2, Harvey takes it high for a rise. So Kinley Harvey having herself a nice night. 2 for 2 with a walk and has reached base all 3 times. Helped her on base percentage out.
When you got 2 outs, and you're facing 7, 8, 9, you have a 7-run lead. think I would see how far they could hit it.
It's Amanda Swartz to the plate next. She's 0 for 1 with a walk. Harris will miss high for ball 1.
Got some troopers out here today, Brett.
Yeah, nice crowd on hand tonight.
There's still another game after this?
Still another game, and yeah, you see some open seats, but you got to keep in mind, spring break starting today on campus at Auburn. You got Auburn baseball playing down the road, competing with the crowd tonight. And Swartz turns on the 1-1 changeup for a foul ball.
Big basketball game on campus tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty big. Pretty big. Tennessee trying to come in and cut down the nets against Auburn. And Auburn, they're trying to just improve their resume for the NCAA tournament. The Tigers already a lock, but a win over Tennessee would help. And here at Jane B. Moore Field, you have more action tomorrow. Day 3 of the War Eagle Challenge. Auburn will play Michigan State and Louisville tomorrow, I believe. The schedule has changed. And the 2-2, Harris ends the 6th inning with a strikeout of Amanda Swartz. Headed to the bottom of the 6th. A run wins it for Auburn. They're up 9-2. A dance party at Jane B. Moore Field tonight. And right down the road, Auburn baseball in action against Texas San Antonio. As Auburn's Tanner Burns, the reigning SEC pitcher of the week, on the hill for Auburn baseball after a 15 strikeout performance against Cincinnati last week in the Tigers' sweep of the Bearcats. And for Auburn softball, they're trying to remain perfect in the Tiger Invitational. They're 2-0. Alyssa Rivera leads off the bottom of the 6th with a bunt. This is one at bat after Alyssa Rivera hit a solo home run in the 4th inning.
1 run here for the Tigers will do it.
Yeah, up 9-2 is 8 runs after 5 innings, so an 8-run deficit after 5 or 6 innings. The game is called to a run rule. And the 0-1, nice backhanded grab. Megan Lane takes care of Rivera at first, just 1 out. Megan Lane's had a nice game, offensively and defensively tonight.
Now McKenna Dowell will get her first at bat of the day.
Yeah, Dowell hitting for Tannen Snow in the cleanup spot, as Dowell came in on defense last inning. Snow hit in the helmet her last at bat, as Snow will take a breather after a great day at the plate for Auburn. Snow with an RBI, 2 hits in the first game, 2 RBIs and a home run tonight. And this is one day after going 2 for 3 last night against Michigan State.
And then flashing the leather.
Yeah. Yeah, she's played as good, if not better, defensively as she has offensively, and she's been stellar at both.
That's something to say right there.
Well, when Tannen Snow transferred to Auburn from Washington, it opened a lot of eyes because she was one of the top-rated recruits out of high school. I mean, she set records. Here's McKenna Dowell roping one down the right field line, and Dowell's going to turn this into extra bases. Not stopping at second. She's headed for third, and McKenna Dowell has a 1-out triple. That gets the crowd on their feet here at the ballpark at Jane B. Moore.
Great job by Dowell coming in. First at bat of the day. She's just going to drive it down the line. For a second off the bat there, I thought it had a chance. She was out of the box. Coach Dean was not stopping her. All the way to third. Now the winning run's at third.
And Dowell, this is her first triple of her sophomore season. I think that could be her first triple of her career. And Haley Nealon will come to the plate to pinch hit for Kendall Veach. And Nealon has a chance to win it here with a walk-off base hit. Runner at third, 1 out. Nealon with a .222 average on the season. Line drive, left center field. That's going to do it. Haley Nealon, the freshman from Spring, Texas, has a walk-off base hit. And the Auburn Tigers run rule Mercer 10-2 in 6 innings. And the offense for Auburn, Amy, it was hot start to finish, and it started in the first inning with 4 runs, and the Tigers just never looked back in this one.
I'd say 1 through 9, but it's more like 1 through 12.
Yeah.
Everyone that came in, I mean, and the best part right there is, again, Lexi Hanley was so pumped on that defensive play. Well, as soon as Nealon gets that hit, the entire team's out of the dugout congratulating her.